I never imagined the girl I once trusted more than anyone could turn into the source of my deepest pain. Her name was Clara, and from the very beginning, she carried herself with a kind of charm that was impossible to ignore. I fell for her quickly, maybe too quickly. In those first months, she made me believe that I had finally found someone who truly understood me. Her laughter was contagious, her promises sweet, and her presence felt like home. But beneath that warmth, there was something darker I couldn't see, at least not yet. The first betrayal came quietly, almost like a whisper in the night. A friend showed me a picture of Clara with another man. At first, I laughed it off. Maybe it was just a cousin, maybe just a coworker. But then the pieces began to fit together in ways I couldn't deny. She was distant, her phone glued to her hand, her excuses piling up like bricks in a wall between us. When I finally confronted her, she didn't even bother to hide it. Her eyes were cold, her words sharper than any blade. You were never enough for me, Daniel. I wanted more. That was the first time my world collapsed. I walked away, broken but determined to rebuild myself. Weeks passed, and just as I started to piece together the fragments of my life, Clara came back. She cried, she begged, she swore she had changed. Against my better judgment, I let her in again. Love, or maybe weakness, made me forgive her. I thought people could learn from their mistakes. I thought maybe she really did want to make things right. But betrayal doesn't always strike the same way twice. This time, it wasn't just my heart she aimed for. It was my trust, my hard-earned savings, my very sense of stability. Clara played the role of the perfect partner, convincing me to invest in a business opportunity she claimed would change our lives. I believed her because deep down, I still wanted us to work. I gave her everything I could, thinking it was for our future. And then just like before, she vanished. One day she was in my arms, whispering about the life we'd build together. The next, she was gone, leaving nothing behind but empty accounts and shattered faith. The realization hit me like a freight train. Not only had Clara betrayed me again, but this time she had taken more than love. She had stolen my trust, my money, my dignity. My friends warned me from the start, telling me she was too good at pretending, too smooth with her words. But I ignored them, blinded by the idea of who I thought she was. Now, staring at the empty balance in my account, I finally understood just how foolish I had been. Days turned into weeks, and her absence echoed louder than her presence ever did. I replayed every conversation in my mind, every smile, every "I love you" she whispered before sleep. They all felt like lies now, anger mixed with shame, and shame turned into a bitter taste that wouldn't leave my mouth. I wanted answers, but more than that, I wanted justice. I tried to reach her, but Clara had vanished like smoke. No calls, no texts, nothing. It was as if she never existed. But the universe has a way of catching up with those who think they can outrun the truth. Through whispers from mutual friends and fragments of social media posts, I learned Clara hadn't just scammed me. She had done it to others too. Men who once believed in her charm, just like I did, were left broken, used, and drained. She was building her life on the ruins of ours, thinking karma would never come knocking. But karma always does. It started small. A mutual friend told me Clara was being investigated for fraud. Apparently, she had grown careless, too confident in her game. She scammed the wrong man. A businessman with connections deep enough to drag her lies into the light. I felt a strange satisfaction when I heard the news, like justice had finally found its way to her doorstep. And then came the cheating part again, woven into the story like a thread that never snapped. The same man she thought she could manipulate discovered she was seeing someone else behind his back. Betrayal, the weapon she had sharpened against so many, finally turned back on her. The man exposed her lies, and suddenly the walls Clara had built came crashing down. It wasn't me who had to lift a finger. I didn't plot revenge or chase her shadow. The world did it for me. News spread quickly, faster than Clara ever imagined. Her reputation, once carefully painted with charm and manipulation, crumbled in front of everyone who once admired her. The businessman she scammed pressed charges, and suddenly Clara, the girl who once thought she was untouchable, was standing in a courtroom, her lies exposed for the world to see. I didn't attend, but I didn't need to. Mutual friends kept me updated, and each detail felt like a chapter in the justice I thought I'd never witness. The woman who once mocked me for being too trusting, now begged a judge for mercy. The same voice that once whispered love in my ear was now trembling, pleading, desperate. But mercy doesn't come easy when you've built your life on deception. Clara was ordered to pay restitution, her accounts frozen, her so-called glamorous life stripped away piece by piece. For someone who thrived on control, losing it all was the sharpest punishment. And the irony? The man she cheated on while scamming others didn't just expose her. He humiliated her. Screenshots of her messages, recordings of her promises, even her fake business pitches were shared online. People who once envied her perfect life saw the truth. A con artist who believed beauty and charm could cover her sins. The mask she wore shattered. And underneath was someone no one wanted to be around. For me, watching it unfold brought a strange peace. Not joy, not revenge, just closure. I had carried her betrayal like a wound that refused to heal. But seeing karma strip her of the lies she once used against me was enough. It proved something I had almost stopped believing. The truth always comes out, and those who build their happiness on the suffering of others will one day face it themselves. Clara reached out once, months later. A short message, just 4 words. I'm sorry for everything. I stared at it for a long time before deleting it without reply. I had no more words for her, no more tears to give. Because in the end, Clara's story wasn't about me losing, it was about her downfall. And as for me, I learned the hardest way possible that love without trust is nothing more than a trap. But I also learned something else. When someone betrays you twice, you don't wait for a third time. You walk away, and you let karma do the rest.